We are live.
The chair notes the time is 6:05 p.m. and I call the meeting of the Amherst Zoning Board of Appeals to order. My name is Everett Henry, Chair of the Amherst Zoning Board of Appeals. I want to welcome everyone to this meeting. We will begin with a roll call of the ZBA members. Mr. White,
Present.
Mr. Meadows,
Present.
Mrs. Sloviter,
Present.
Mr. Offeld.
Present.
The chair notes that the quorum is present. Also present tonight is Ms. Jacinta Williams, planner for the town, as well as Mr. David Waskiewicz. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025, extended through June 30th of 2027, the ability of public bodies to meet in a fully remote or hybrid manner, this meeting will be conducted via remote means. Members of the public who wish to access this meeting may do so via Zoom or by telephone. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. The Zoning Board of Appeals is a quasi-judicial body that operates under the authority of Chapter 40A of the General Laws of the Commonwealth for the purpose of promoting the health, safety, convenience, and general welfare of the inhabitants of the town of Amherst. One of the most important elements of the Amherst zoning bylaw is Section 10.38. Specific findings from this section must be made for all of our decisions. Statutorily, for a special permit, the board has 90 days from the close of the hearing to file a decision. No decision is final until the written decision is signed by the sitting board members and is filed in the town clerk's office. Once the decision is filed with the clerk's office, there is a 20-day appeal period for an aggrieved party to contest the decision with the relevant judicial body in the Superior Court. After the appeal period, the permit must be recorded at the Registry of Deed to take effect. Tonight's agenda, we will have approval of the minutes from September 11th of 2025. We will also hear public hearing ZBA FY 2026-03, 65 High Street, request a special permit under section 3.3241, converted dwelling, to convert an open porch to a bedroom in one of the dwelling units. Additionally, the applicant requests modifications under section 7.90 to have more than 50% of the parking spaces to be compact parking spaces allowed by section 7.104 for property located on map parcel 14B-90 RG General Residence zoning districts. This meeting has been continued from September 11th of 2025. Also on the agenda is ZBA FY 2026-05, 610 East Pleasant Street, request a special permit under section 3.3241 for the modification of ZBA FY 89-23, condition number 1, to update the previously approved site plan and construct a wooden ground mount solar array for property located on map parcel 8B/79 RN Neighborhood Resident Zoning District. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from September 11th, and are there any inputs and or corrections need to be made? I see no hands or any objections to the minutes. So I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from September 11th, 2025. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? The motion has been moved in second. The vote occurs on the motion. Mrs. Sloviter,
Aye.
Mr. Meadows,
Aye.
Mr. White,
Aye.
Mr. Offeld,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. The motion is approved for the September 11th, 2025 meeting minutes with no objections or abstentions. We now move to the petition for 65 High Street, ZBA FY 2026-03. I know that there were some late submissions, and one of those requests was for a continuance. So, Ms. Williams, if we can have the petitioner for 65 High Street be brought in, and so we can have a discussion on that petition. I think the board gets to decide one on the continuance or have a full hearing with an up or down vote on the petition that we continue to date certain to today. So who represents 65 High Street?
Hello, thank you for having me. This is David Burson from Legacy Counselors PC here on behalf of 65 High Street tonight. Is it okay for me to speak? I don't want to
No.
interrupt if, oh, okay, great.
This is why you're here. Thank you, Mr. Burson.
Thank you. So ultimately, one of the primary requests that were made to us on the September 11th meeting date were some concerns related to the safety of the parking area. We had submitted our updated site plan and parking plan to the fire department, seeking their input essentially, because their input could have a huge impact as far as whether we have to redesign the entire parking plan. There was a potential discussion about moving the cars to the other side of the driveway, or the possibility of us needing to actually extend the driveway an additional foot. So we feel that their input is quite relevant to this application. So as soon as we had our site plan back from our surveyor, we sent that over to the fire department. I dropped it off in hand the following day. And we have been contacting them pretty much daily, hoping for, an update on their review of our plan. And as we had been previously admonished about piecemealing our submissions, we wanted to submit everything as a cohesive whole. So we do apologize for the late submission of the updated submission materials. We were truly hoping to have all of our updated information for this board to present tonight. But as we're still waiting for that plan review back from the fire department, we are requesting a continuance. I don't expect that it will take a particularly long time to obtain that, but it looks like Mr. Waskiewicz has his hand raised. So
He does, but if I may ask a question
Of course.
before we get to Mr. Waskiewicz.
Sure.
When did you submit the plan to the fire department?
Sure. So we got our plan back from Randy Iser on the 14th, and we submitted it on the 15th. So
14th
unfortunately,
the 14th of this month?
correct. That's correct.
Okay. Mr. Waskiewicz?
Yeah, just before this meeting earlier today, I spoke to Fire Prevention Officer Chris Bascom, and just to see where he was at on the plan review. I don't know that he was actually going to send anything back, but just so the board is aware, my conversation with him indicated that he didn't feel that there was any codes that he could pursue in terms of access to the house and the fire truck being able to get into the driveway. He readily admits that the way the driveway is, it would be difficult for the fire truck to get in, but he also understands that this is an existing condition. There's not a lot of room there. He said he was happier to have the cars parked in the driveway than they would be if they were on the road, which hampers their firefighting abilities. And I did take a drive by there tonight before this meeting, and I do see that there is no parking on one side of the road, but there is parking on the other side. So there is a path available for the fire trucks to get through, but should there be a fire there, they would totally block the road for sure. But it is one side parking, and it looks like there is no parking on the side where this house is. So it would give them a clear shot should they need to access the house to park directly in front without any obstructions. So I don't know if the board wishes to have more than what I'm telling you tonight, but that was what he did say to me earlier.
I truly appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. Waskiewicz. So I think and I will allow members of the board to weigh in, but I think the submissions that we received, I'm not sure if everyone had the opportunity to fully go through everything that was submitted to us. And so, I mean, having that representation that the fire department doesn't necessarily need or will submit something back to you, Mr. Burson, I don't know if that is sufficient for everyone to actually go forward with the petition, as opposed to granting a continuance, not just for you, but for us as well to review everything as a whole to see if everything that was required of you in our last meeting has been satisfied and has been met. So I will put this to members of the board. I, given the, yes, we appreciate that and arguably would have preferred if the request for continuance didn't come the day before the hearing. But given the fact that we don't have any documented cancellation period, I do not want to arbitrarily just say no without giving you some notice. So I would put it to the board for a vote. One, option number one, grant this continuance, or two, do you feel that there is sufficient information for you to make a decision based on what was presented before and what has been submitted now? So I will open it to members of the board to just weigh in and be mindful again, the continuance as well as just have a full hearing tonight. Mr. Sloviter?
Okay, I'm perfectly happy to start. I don't feel sufficiently informed to move ahead with fully considering this application at this point. I would be willing to continue it. I'm inclined to say one more time, except I don't know if if we have the ability to limit it to one more time. But this has been before us enough. And I would like to see a comprehensive response that addresses all of the concerns that we had and to have it in an adequate amount of time before the next hearing so that we can consider all the aspects. I read everything. There are some things in there that I still have concerns about, which I'm not prepared to go into now because I'm supporting a continuance, and that we will look at it. It's really on the responsibility of the applicant to answer all of our questions and get it in a timely enough manner that we can responsibly look at it. One day is not enough to continue to consider all this. So I would support a continuance to another date and would really like it to be the last time that we do look at this, and that the next meeting that addresses 65 High Street, that we will be sufficiently informed that we can vote it up or down at that point. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mrs. Sloviter.
I would agree with everything that Mr. Sloviter has said.
Thank you, Ms. Meadows. Mr. Offeld
I also concur with Mr. Sloviter. Thank you.
and Mr. White.
I would agree.
Thank you. So, Mr. Burson, I think you've heard from everyone. We are willing to extend a continuance. However, to Mr. Silver's point, this has been before us before. We have been accommodated into 65 High Street. We appreciate that, you're dealing with additional people, not just yourselves, so you work at other people's timelines and schedules. However, be mindful that Ms. Williams also has a responsibility and also has timelines that she has to meet. So, given that we're inclined to continue this to a date certain, if for any reason you are going to request a continuance before the next date certain, you must submit that continuance to Ms. Williams within a week, 7 days notice to Ms. Williams. If that continuance is not received within that 7-week notice, then we will have the hearing with a full up or down vote. Mr. White? I think you froze.
And I would say right now that if it comes before us again and a continuance is asked for,
I think Mr. White, you froze a couple times.
okay, no, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. No, I was just stating, echoing everything you said, Mr. Chair. The only thing I would add is this has been before us, as Mr. Sloviter stated several times. And if it is mentioned in the future that they're seeking another continuance, I would not be able to vote in the affirmative for that.
So, Mr. Burson, understanding we're granting this continuance and to make sure that to try to avoid another continuance reasonably, how much time do you need?
Once again, we were literally just waiting to hear back from the fire department. I do apologize again for the late submission. As I mentioned, we unfortunately are working on other people's timelines here, so I do appreciate the grace that the board is granting us in this request. But based on the report from Mr. Waskiewicz, I think that we would be ready to go whenever you are welcome, willing to have us back, essentially. So,
Mr. Sloviter?
Well, now for the bad news. I will not be available on the 13th of November, which is, I believe, the next scheduled ZBA meeting.
And the following one is Thanksgiving, so that's a no-no.
The following one is Thanksgiving, and then the one after that I have on my calendar is 11 December. And I'll be here for that, but 13 November, I'm out of the country.
Thank you, Mrs. Sloviter. Ms. Williams, you have your hand up.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Sloviter definitely brought up the point that I was going to ask, which was, can we figure out the date? So it sounds like it's going to be the 11th of December. But then I also had a clarifying question for you, Mr. Chair. The 7 days, is that 7 days within tonight's hearing or 7 days before the next public hearing that we would need the continuance request?
So if I understood correctly, you need to advertise this, correct?
No, we're just going to post it again, post the agenda again. I don't need to advertise it again because we've been continuing to a date certain. If we forget the date certain, then we have to start all over again.
So in that case, it will be 7 days before arguably what we're looking at now, December 11th.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
So for other board members, December 11th, availability. I see Mr. Offeld, I see Mr. White. I am good. Mr. Meadows, you're okay? Okay. So I will entertain a motion to continue ZBA FY 2026 65 High Street to a date certain of December 11th. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
It has been moved and second. The vote occurs on the motion. Mr. Sloviter,
Aye.
Mr. White,
Aye.
Mr. Offeld,
Aye.
Mr. Meadows,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Mr. Burson, this ZBA FY 2026-03 65 High Street has been continued to a date certain of December 11th. Again, be mindful, for any reason, if you require continuance, that must be requested to Ms. Williams 7 days prior to December 11th.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next order of business is ZBA FY 2026-05 610 East Pleasant Street. Request a special permit under section 3.3241 for the modification of ZBA FY 89-23, condition number 1, to update the previously approved site plan and construct a wooden ground mount solar array for property located on map parcel AB-79 RN neighborhood residents. Who represents 610 East Pleasant Street?
You're muted, Julia. You're muted.
I can represent, but my son is also here. Maybe I hit the wrong button too soon, but I know that he is present.
That's
So
okay. If you want us to bring him in, we can.
I think that would be good, yes.
Julia, which one is your son? Because is it the one that's Samuel?
Yes,
Okay, all right.
it's his name that's on the petition. He's been waiting all day for this.
Okay, here you go.
Okay.
So if I may have both of you introduce yourselves and list your address for the record, please.
My name is Julia Feeney. I am, my address is 116 Black Birch Trail, Florence, Massachusetts.
And my name is Samuel Shanky, and my address is 610 East Pleasant Street, Amherst, Mass.
Thank you both for being here. And the floor is yours. Just tell us what you're asking of us.
Sam, you want to go ahead?
Sure. So we're asking for permission to construct a ground mount solar array. And the permission that we're seeking is just to construct the wooden structure that these panels would be situated on. And yeah, we believe, so we have design plans, and we believe that we are within all of the requirements of the town as far as zoning. And we have a construction company that is licensed and insured and willing to begin construction as soon as we're eligible to begin. We also have a contract with a solar installation company to do what is ostensibly a rooftop solar installation, but it's on what will be a constructed ground mount, because the house that we have at 610, as you can probably see from the parcel, there's a lot of shade coverage from some large trees. So we're not actually able to do a rooftop installation on the existing roof. And so what we're looking to do is create a secondary structure in the yard that would support panels for solar production for the house.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Sloboda.
It might be helpful for the members of the panel who were not at the site visit yesterday if you report about the site visit.
I was going to get to that.
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I was also going to list off the submissions that we have, but while I find the report, Mr. Silva, if you'd be so kind as to tell us about the site visit that we had.
Oh, I'd be happy to. We visited the property yesterday afternoon on a day when Ms. Feeney had wonderfully arranged for bright sunshine to demonstrate the effect on the proposed solar display. I'll make a few observations from having been there and looking around. The site of the display is not visible from the street. It is only maybe visible from the neighbor. We could barely see the neighbor's house from the site of the solar display. In the winter, it may be more visible, but it's at a good distance. And both the chair and I commented to each other that we couldn't imagine that there would be an objection. The height of the display is approximately the same height as an existing shed that is going to be removed. So the impact seems to me at least to be insignificant in terms of height or anything. This struck me as about as innocuous an addition as I can imagine. It's not going to interfere with anything in the neighborhood unless somebody routinely commutes in a helicopter. It's about the only way you'll even know the thing is there. So it was, and also Ms. Feeney pointed out, I think they were orange little stakes, flags in the ground that defined the size of the display, which of the installation. It wasn't even all that significant. So the impact on their property and where it's located seemed to be not intrusive to me in any way at all. So that's really all that we observed, or that I observed.
Thank you, Mrs. Slover. And I would concur with everything that you said. It seemed pretty straightforward as to what is being asked. It's very far back. You have no immediate neighbors to, again, we've also received no public comment on this, which is a sign. If anyone else who was there wished to add anything, you can do so. I know Mr. White was there. I see you shaking your head. So again, I don't think that there is any thing else to add from the site visit. So thank you. For the record, we did receive submissions as of September 15th. We did receive a site plan, the solar project summary, a catalog cut sheet for HD wave technology, a catalog cut sheet for half cell N-type solar cell, the solar array dimensions. September 17th, we received the application form. September 18th, we received a photo solar array dimensions, as well as an additional photo solar array dimensions. And again, photo solar array dimensions and more pictures of photo solar array dimensions. So those are all in the packet that we received. So are there any questions for Ms. Feeney, or do you say your name's Samu?
Sorry, my name is Samuel. I'm not sure what has
Samuel.
happened with the name here, but yeah,
Yeah.
Samuel, and last name is.
Okay. I do not believe we have any questions.
Mr.
So
Chair.
go ahead, Mr. White. I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand up.
No, you're fine. This isn't a question, but I want to reiterate in the meeting, one of the things we discussed or asked a question about yesterday, which is, can you please confirm once again that this solar array will not have any sort of storage capacity on site? There will be no batteries, as wasn't instructed to us yesterday.
Absolutely, yes. I'm happy to confirm that. There will not be any battery storage on site whatsoever. There's not going to be any. It's going to be tied right back into the grid, and will not. We're going to be using net metering, so we won't even be able to access the power to the house.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So given that there are, unless there are other further comments from the panel, I would go to public comments to see if we have any public comments for this application. Ms. Williams, do we have anyone in the public?
We have members of the public present, but no one has come forward for this petition.
So just for clarity, if anyone wishes to comment on this application before the board tonight, you may do so by using the raise hand feature, or if you're calling in, I believe you press *9 on your telephone.
No responses.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Given that there are no responses, I would entertain a motion to keep the public hearing open while going to a public meeting on this application. Is there such a motion? It has been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved and second. The vote occurs on the motion. Mr. Meadows?
Aye.
Mr. Offeld?
Aye.
Mrs. Sloviter?
Aye.
Mr. White?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. We are now in the public meeting part of our deliberations. This is not an opportunity for the applicants to offer any input, but it's a chance for the board to discuss the application tonight. As Mr. Slover stated earlier at the site visit, I believe that we all fully appreciated what was being asked. We saw the property, understood how it was settled. Does not seem that there are any issues from any abutters. It is within the guidelines, and I am inclined to support this without any objections. Mr. Sloviter?
I agree. I think this is as straightforward an application as I have been exposed to since I've been on this board. As I was thinking to myself, if there was ever an application where I would have been happy to vote yes while I was still standing there, I would have done it, but we have to go through the normal steps. But this is as close to the easiest thing I've seen. This is a responsible application. The design is responsible. There's no aspect of this that I find questionable. And with the confirmation that there will be no battery storage, I'm absolutely prepared to support this as well.
Thank you, Mr. Sloviter.
You're welcome.
Mr. White?
I would echo everything that you've said, Mr. Chair, as well as Mr. Sloviter, and I won't waste anybody else's time on that. I agree.
Mr. Offeld?
I concur. I just also want to note that I've looked reviewing all the conditions. I don't know if you will go through those in a moment, but I think the staff's assessment on all those conditions is on the mark.
Thank you. And yes, we will go through the conditions. Mr. Meadows?
I have no problem with the petition whatsoever.
Thank you, Mr. Meadows. So given that there are no objections to your petition, we do have to go make specific findings. And once we've made those findings, if there are conditions to be imposed, then we go through those conditions. So as part of the application approval procedures, any application received needs to go through various departments for comments pursuant to section 10.32. This was sent to the fire department as of 10/14. There is no response. The town engineer, as of 10/14, there is no response. Conservation, I do not believe this is in their purview or affects anything. The site is not jurisdictional to the Conservation Commission, and there are no comments on this project. I believe the building commissioner had questions. How and will the utility connection be made? The new structure is pretty far back and a long distance to the meter location on the southeast corner building. There will be underground work and may be new equipment up front on the building where the power connection is visible from the street, but I don't see this to be an objection. As of October 15th, there were no public comments, and as of tonight as well, there were no public comments made in real time. We do need to make the zoning bylaw reviews and findings. In the interest of time, I will go to section, we need to make findings pursuant to section 3.3241. And so I will start with that section. An existing residence, a structure, a converted dwelling, an existing residence, a structure attached to an existing residence or a detached structure may be converted into a dwelling unit or units provided all other zoning requirements which would apply to converted dwellings are met. This property was legally converted into a 4-family dwelling through the special permit of ZBA 1989-23. A converted dwelling may involve, I'm sorry. A converted dwelling use may involve the conversion of one or more structures on a given property, but shall not result in a total number of dwelling units on the lot exceeding what would otherwise be allowed under the provisions of Table 3 dimensional regulations for the zoning districts in question. Further, the total number of dwelling units on a given property shall not exceed 4, in the RG, RVC, RN, RO, or RLD districts and shall not exceed 6 in the BG, BL, and BVC districts. Conversion in the aquifer recharge protection or watershed protection overlay districts shall not be permitted. This property, again, was legally converted into a 4-family dwelling unit through ZBA Special Permit 1989-23, and therefore meets all the requirements of Section 3.3241, subsection 2. Subsection 4, there shall be no significant change in the exterior of the building, except that the special permit granting authority or permit granting board may authorize modification or alteration of a building if such modification or alteration does not substantially change the building's character or its effect on the neighborhood or on property in the vicinity. The applicant proposes to construct a wooden ground mount solar array. The exterior of the building will not be affected or changed. Subsection 5, except as hereinafter provided, no converted dwelling use shall involve the demolition and removal of an existing structure proposed for conversion. Demolition is not proposed for this. To go to subsection 6, the proposed conversion shall be suitably located in the neighborhood in which it is proposed as deemed appropriate by the special granting permit authority. The conversion, if in a residential district, shall either 1, be located in an area that is close to heavily traveled streets, close to business, commercial, and educational districts, or already developed for multifamily use, and shall require owner occupancy or a resident manager, or be from 1 or 2 units, 1 unit of which shall be and shall remain owner occupied, a requirement which shall be made condition of any special permit use in such an instance. No physical changes are proposed to the existing structure, and there are no proposed changes to the owner occupancy requirement. The dwelling unit shall be connected to the public sewer. However, the special permit granting authority may authorize, with the approval of the Board of Health, the conversion of a structure to allow an increase from 1 dwelling unit to 2 dwelling units on a lot serviced by a septic system. There are no proposed changes to this existing structure. Subsection 8, the special permit granting authority may modify the dimensional requirements of Table 3 to 1 time only for any parcel, allow a conversion under Section 3.3241 that would add 1 additional unit, only if it finds the modification would be in accordance with the provisions of Section 9.22. In those zoning districts where 2-family detached duplex dwellings are not permitted, conversion of a non-conforming single-family detached dwelling may result in 2 or more dwelling units under the applicable permit. There are no physical changes proposed to the existing structure. Subsection 11, a landscape plan or permit for the project shall be included in the application. There is current landscaping shown on the site plan. Article 10, the special permit granting authority. The board shall, under Section 10.38 of the zoning bylaw, specific findings, make the findings required of all special permits, such that Section 10.38 and 10.31. The proposal is suitably located in the neighborhood in which it is proposed, and or the total town as deemed appropriate by the special granting permit authority. The proposal is compatible with existing uses and other uses permitted by right in the same district. I will make a finding that the proposal is suitable located in the neighborhood and is compatible with existing and other uses permitted by right in the same zoning district at this time. Section 10.328, Section 10.382, 83, 85, and 87. The proposal would not constitute a nuisance due to air and water pollution, flood, noise, odor, dust, vibration, lights, or visually offensive structures or site features. The proposal would not be substantially inconvenience or hazard to abutters, vehicles, or pedestrians. The proposal reasonably protects the adjoining premises against detrimental or offensive uses on the site, including air and water pollution, flood, noise, odor, dust, vibration, lights, or visually offensive structures or site features. the proposal provides convenient and safe vehicular pedestrian movement within the site and in relation to adjacent streets, property, or improvements. I find that the proposal does not constitute any hazard to abutters. Section 10.392. The proposal provides adequate landscaping, including the screening of adjacent residential uses, provision of street trees, landscape islands in the parking lot, and a landscape buffer along the street frontage. When a non-residential use adjoins a residential district, an uninterrupted vegetative buffer shall, to the extent feasible, be established and maintained between buildings associated with uses under this section and the nearest residential property boundaries. Where natural undisturbed vegetation already exists on a site prior to site preparation and clearing, the majority of that vegetation may be retained and included as part of the buffer, along with the addition of such new plantings, selective removals, and other management of site plantings as are determined to be necessary to maintain an effective year-round visual screening. I do not believe, and I would also have the board weigh in, especially the ones that were at the site visit. I do not believe a landscape buffer is necessary. This is a very settled property with ample screenings and trees surrounding the property. So I would suggest that a landscape buffer is not necessary here.
I agree. Nothing required at all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Section 10.393. The proposal provides protection of adjacent properties by minimizing the intrusion of lighting, including parking lots and exterior lighting through use of cutoff luminaries, light shields, lower height of light poles, screening, or similar solutions. There are no additional lighting proposed for this site, and similar to the previous section, I would suggest here that this is the section, given that there's no proposed, this is not an issue. Section 10.394. The proposal avoids, to the extent feasible, impact on steep slopes, floodplains, scenic views, grade change, and wetlands. This project is not found within the designated flood zone. Section 10.398. The proposal is in harmony with the general purpose and intent of this bylaw and the goals of the master plan. I'd like to make a finding that the proposal is in keeping with the general purpose and intent of the bylaw and advances the goals of the town's master plan to implement green energy alternatives. So those are the findings, and I would entertain a motion to approve said findings from the board. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
And seconded.
The motion has been moved and second. The vote occurs on the motion to approve the findings. Mr. Sloviter,
Aye.
Mr. Offeld,
Aye.
Mr. Meadows,
Aye.
Mr. White,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Part of the process of a special permit is whether or not to impose conditions. Now that we've made a finding that the application is within the zoning bylaws, we'll now discuss any conditions we wish to impose on said special permit. Proposed condition: the construction should comply with the site and project plan submitted to the board on October 23, 2025. Any changes to the site and/or project plans must be presented to the building commissioner prior to the installation to determine if the proposed changes are significant. There shall be no additional exterior lighting. There shall be no changes to the exterior of the building. Should this petition be approved, it is granted as an accessory to the principal use. Special permit ZBA 1989-23 shall remain the controlling permit for the primary use, and those conditions shall still apply. Does anyone on the board have any questions, comments about those conditions, or wish to modify or add any conditions? I do not see any affirmative responses. I will thereby entertain a motion to
Mr.
approve-
Chair,
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Offeld has his hand
Mr.
up.
Offeld.
Yes, thank you. Just one suggestion for clarification, number 3. It's the building we're speaking of is the residential building, not the soon-to-be solar building, right? So it would just insert the word the residential building, just so there's no confusion there.
I don't think there should be an issue.
That's it.
Ms. Williams?
I've made the change. Is it not visible?
It's
Yeah, it's
visible.
fine.
It's visible.
Looks great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that change, I would entertain a motion to approve the conditions for this special permit. Is there such a motion?
So
So
moved.
It has been moved and second. The vote occurs on the motion. Mr. Meadows,
Aye.
Mr. Offeld,
Aye.
Mr. White,
Aye.
Mr. Sloviter,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. The motion for the proposed conditions has been approved. The motion for findings as well as the conditions have been approved. I will now entertain a motion to approve the special permit ZBA FY 2026-05 610 East Pleasant Street. Is there such a motion to approve the special permit?
So
So
moved.
moved.
It has been moved and second. The vote occurs on the motion to approve the special permit. Mr. White,
Aye.
Mr. Sloviter,
Enthusiastically, aye.
Mr. Offeld,
Aye.
Mr. Meadows,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. ZBA FY 2026-05 610 East Pleasant Street. The special permit has been approved. Ms. Feeney, congratulations and thank you. You are on mute, but I believe, yeah.
Thanks so much for having us this evening. We really appreciate your time.
Are you very welcome? Thank you for making it easy and thank you for being here.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Aye.
thank you. Our next order of business is any other business not anticipated prior to this meeting. I do have one thing, and I'm not sure how this was done previously, and so I thought I would bring it to the board. The town council usually sends out an email to the boards of the town to give feedback on town manager's performance. I do not know if historically the ZBA submitted anything, the chair did anything on behalf of the board, or do we just say we don't work as closely with the town manager, therefore we have no input? I thought I would bring it here because I received that email a few days ago.
Mr. Chair, I'm fine with however you want to do it because I have no real recommendations to offer, so.
I also got the email. I think it goes out to the whole town. My sense is that this is an individual response that we, as a board, I don't think it would be appropriate for us as a board to respond. I think we can feel free as individuals to respond, but for us to respond as a board means that we would have to meet and come up with a consensus and a statement, and that's another committee. And yeah, I don't.
Thank you, David.
You're
I like
welcome.
the way you think.
You're welcome, Craig.
My sentiment was, I think what we do is far removed from the town manager. So I'm not sure how we would rate his performance again. So, but I thought I would present it given that the email went out. I'm not sure if everyone had gotten the email, but thank you. Okay. Does anyone else have anything not anticipated within the last 48 hours before we go to a public comment? Period.
Just that we don't have any petitions for November 13th. So that might be something to consider as to whether or not you'd like to meet. I believe they're going to be voting on one more amendment at town council next week or shortly in the future. So then the zoning bylaw will be updated and then you can sort of plan for your next administrative meeting, but I'll keep you posted on that.
Are we still within the period for anyone to submit anything to make it to November 13?
I missed the deadline.
Okay, so that answers that question. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So if there are any members of the public who wish to comment, this is going to be our general public comment period. You may comment on items not before this is the part where it's not before the ZBA tonight, given that our petitions are gone. So if there are any members of the public who wish to make a public comment, if you are via the web, you may press the pound key. I'm sorry, on your phone, you may press the pound key. If you are live on the web, you may raise your hand to be called on. Do we still have anyone, Ms. Williams?
We have 3 attendees, but no one is eager to provide public comment.
Okay. Thank you for that. So given that we are past the submission period for our next meeting, I would entertain a motion to cancel November 13th's ZBA meeting. Is there such a motion?
I see you smiling, David.
well, I'm smiling because now I'm not missing it. I don't have to be racked with guilt while I'm away.
So moved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Craig.
Yeah. Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved and second. The vote occurs on the motion to cancel the scheduled meeting for November 13th. Mr. Sloviter.
Aye.
Mr. Meadows.
Aye.
Mr. Offeld.
Aye.
Mr. White.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The previously scheduled meeting for November 13 is hereby canceled. And Ms. Williams, other than our December 11th, 65 High Street, is there anything coming up?
Not for the foreseeable future. There are a few applications floating around that we are currently reviewing and just making sure they're okay. They may show up on the December 11th agenda, but for right now, it's just 65 High Street.
Thank you.
And
Mr.
then after December 11, the next Thursday is actually Christmas Day, so obviously there won't be a meeting. So December 11 looks to me like it's the last meeting of this calendar year, right?
That's
Yes.
correct. And I
Okay.
have drafted the 2026 meeting schedule, but I just want to look at it with fresh eyes before I send it out. It can get kind of dicey when you're like putting all the dates together.
Right.
Just
Okay.
because I want to try to leave as much of a buffer in there as possible, but I will review that one more time and then send that out to you, but it's pretty much ready to go.
Okay.
We can also look at it on the December 11th meeting, given that we only have one thing.
For now, you might have
Yeah.
another thing.
Also true.
We'll see.
So, fun words. It is not yet 7 o'clock. I will entertain a motion to adjourn this ZBA meeting for my phone.
Oh, you lied. It's 7.
I know.
I was just about to say, talk fast. You're about to make yourself a liar.
So close. Is there such a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved and second. The motion is not debatable. A vote occurs on the motion. Mrs. Meadows,
Aye.
Mr. Arfeld,
Aye.
Mrs. Sloviter,
If I vote no, it could still pass, but I could actually vote against adjournment, right?
it will definitely pass. Yes.
Okay, then I'll vote aye because I'm a team player.
Mr. White,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Thank you all for your service, and this meeting is adjourned. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night.
Bye.